Aloha everyone, I'm Delia, your Executive Administrator. It is an honor for me to share the following audio interview with you. James H. Case, born and raised on Kaua'i, practiced law in Hawaii for 6 decades. In February 2020, we were invited by Jim's son Rusty Case to interview his dad at their home on Tantalus. The entire 2-hour interview will soon be accessible online. But for now, listen as Jim shares some of his childhood memories with us.
Well, first of all, my father grew up on Maui. He decided to go to the University of Hawaii School of Agriculture, and he was the first graduating class at the University of Hawaii, 1916, School of Agriculture. So he came to Kaua'i in 1916, worked for Agricultural Service, and he got a job with Grow Farm, sugar plantation. And my mother had no trouble finding a job in the DOE in a Lihue grammar school. I was born in 1920, April 10, 1920. 2 months from now, if I make it, I'll be 100. So I was born on Kaua'i. I grew up on Kaua'i. I went to Lihue Grammar School. Out of 120 students and the whole school, the whole class, I was only a haole boy. And the rest were, the largest number were Japanese, but they were only about 1/3. Then there were Hawaiians, Portuguese, Chinese, all kinds of people. So I grew up there, and I see my father was working for, in effect, G.N. Wilcox, who owned Grow Farm. So G.N. Wilcox was very nice to me. I was valedictorian in my class in my high school. He gave me a scholarship to go to Punahou. I got a bicycle when I was very young, like I think 7. And once I got a bicycle, everybody I knew was within bicycle distance. All my friends I could reach by bicycle. I could go down to Kalapaki Beach and body surf. When I was born, they invented a lot of things. They finally built a train that came from Lihue Mill up the valley, across behind Wilcox's house, and up the road past our house. We lived right on the road. Right. Opposite us was a huge pasture, which is G.N. Wilcox's pasture, and he had milk every day. And once I learned to ride my bicycle, I took a pail, put it on my handlebars, and went down every morning very early and got a pail of fresh milk. And that was a treacherous place, that little area across the street from my house. I went to the YMCA camp in Hyanna when I was 8 years old. It was frightening. And they sent me off to this, but I was the youngest kid in the camp. And so the camp leader wanted to go and spend an overnight time at Hanakapiai. Oh my God, I got up to that trail, and here's this ridge, trail's about this wide, and the ocean's down there somewhere. I was so scared. I got on my hands and knees and crawled around the corner, and we finally got into Hanakapiai. But for an 8-year-old, it was a pretty long hike. And I was about the youngest guy in the camp. Oh yeah, I was about 7th or 8th grade, and our class was putting on a performance of a Japanese Japanese story. And it was a musical. and so it was partly music and partly voice. And so I was in the chorus. One day the teacher said, "Okay, boys, you line up. You line up here. I want to listen to you singing this chorus." Well, she lined up and walked down the line and said, "Jimmy, you are singing a monotone. No matter what the music is, you're spinning a monotone. We're going to give you a speaking part." So I got my nickname, and only a few people knew it. I got a speaking part, and I was at one point in the play I was called a "you cheat." Well, that got changed to "chitty." And so my local people from Kaua'i called me Chitty. Well, if somebody called me Chitty, I knew they were old timer from Kaua'i.